What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about the draft and what everybody thinks of Shedeur Sanders dropping as far as he did drop. Did I think he was going to be a first round pick? I did. I did think that a team was definitely going to pick him up in terms like needing a quarterback. But at the same time, when you look at the draft board, a few of those teams didn't necessarily need quarterbacks. I mean, the positions need to fill. You can arguably say they needed to be filled, but some teams, it's just like we need a quarterback. And with the Giants picking Jackson Dart, it throws a lot of controversy. But when you look in terms of what I'm about to point out, it does make why they chose him. Because he's not. I'm gonna just say that he's not a bad quarterback. I don't feel like a lot of these guys are bad quarterbacks. At the end of the day, the NFL is still going to test you for who you are as a quarterback. So hopping straight into this, looking at the top 22, I'm not even going to do the top 25. I'm going to just do the top 22. You have Cam Ward with an 88.0, Dylan Gabriel with an 86.5, Curtis Roki with an 85.7, Jackson Dart, and we're going to stop right there with an 84.7. So he has an 84.7 at Ole Miss. And doesn't matter about the receiving core. We're just going to talk about the QBR. 84.7 at Ole Miss. Ole Miss last season did pretty good, but I mean, it's also the SEC. So in terms of conference, I will rate Jackson Dart in terms of facing like a lot of the SEC talent is. So in terms of facing tough competition, I will put pretty much him up there in terms of handling pressure. But Ole Miss season, I can't forget if they won their bowl game or not. I believe they did, but it still was a tough season. So if you go down even further, Sawyer Robertson, 83.7, Blake from Navy, 83.4, Will Howard, Ohio State, wide receiver University, Jalen Milroe, Alabama, Natty Nation, Haynes from Georgia Tech, 82.4, Drew from Penn State, 81.6, Sam from Arizona State, 81.6, Carson Beck from Georgia, of course, 80.9, Garrett LSU, 79, Riley Dame, 78.9, Cade Klubnik, I think it's a Klubnik from Clemson, 78.9. And then finally, Shedeur Sanders with a 78.2, Colorado. So he is in the top 20, and he's ranked number 16 in terms of QBR. The main thing that I do want to point out of all of this is hopping straight to the sacks, because I feel like this can throw it just a little bit in a slate. If you look at the list blindly without knowing who the quarterback is, and you look at the sack column, you can kind of understand who was at quarterback at that time frame, because negative 23.7 pops out. There is no other quarterback with a negative 23.7 on this list that I have screenshot. It's only Shedeur Sanders from Colorado. So in terms of dealing with that, you can say, he kind of didn't have an O-line. I mean, you can also say playmaking in terms of throwing it away and stuff like that. But that does go into O-line, because if you look at number 4 pick, he only had Jackson Dart. He only had a 14.3. So in comparison, 14.3, 23.7. I mean, that's a huge difference. Next, we're going to move on to plays. So in terms of plays, 600 plays versus Dart's 516 plays. And that turns into points. So you have 72.7, and then you also have Sanders with a 72.9. So in terms of them being able to score points, more plays for Sanders, less plays for Dart. Offenses are going to be different, but in terms of quarterback being able to convert, I mean, they're both pretty much, I would say, equal in terms of putting up points, being able to get a field goal, last second drive, driving down the field. I feel like a lot of these analysts really analyze the QBR and also highlights, but I feel like right now it might be a little bit of a humbling experience for him, because if you have Donald Trump tweeting, what are these NFL owners doing? Then it honestly must mean there's something of, taking a humbling approach. To take it how you want. Donald Trump did tweet that, but who knows what the case may be. And it's going to be interesting having the Browns have the #1 pick for the second round. You know, they're pick number 33. They have the first pick for the second round. If they draft him or not is pretty interesting, because if he falls way lower, then I really don't know what to say. Really don't know what to say if he falls lower. But at the same time, there's only been 2 quarterbacks that got drafted. So out of those 2 that got drafted, if they draft another quarterback ahead of him, it's going to be who are they going to pick ahead of him, you know, and not pretty much pass up on him. Like, who's actually going to be ahead of him? That's going to be pretty much the biggest thing. So in terms of career wise, Shedeur Sanders finished out the 2024 season with 4,134 yards, 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and of course the QBR 75.5. Not sure why. Then you have Jackson Dart, who finished his season 276 for 398 and 4,279 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions last season. And then overall in his college career, Dart threw for, my rice just got done. In his college career, Dart threw for 11,970 yards, 81 touchdowns, and 27 interceptions. So, speaking on that, he was the 2024 SEC first team, and he was selected 25th by the Giants. The Giants were supposed to draft him, but Shedeur, or that was hinted with his cleats that he had posted, but look at where we're at now. So the last thing I want to end off on is a Reddit post. So the last decade of first round quarterbacks, and this person did the research, and I'll let you read it when I throw it up on. But this person did pretty much the research from 2013 to 2022 to look at the top quarterbacks that got selected and if they had a successful career or not. And he said, I would consider 12 of them to have successful careers as NFL starters. So I'm going to start with the unsuccessful that he pretty much named. And this is 18 players. Number 1, EJ Manuel, 2013. Blake Bortles, 2014. Johnny Manziel, 2014. Teddy Bridgewater, 2014. Jameis Winston, 2015. So moving on to the successful ones, which is very interesting because a lot of them are still playing right now. Matter of fact, I believe this whole list is still playing or active. Number 1, Jared Goff, 2016. Patrick Mahomes, 2017. Deshaun Watson, 2017. Baker Mayfield, 2018. Josh Allen, 2018. Lamar Jackson, 2018. Kyler Murray, 2019. Joe Burrow, 2020. And that there concluded his list. That is what he got. First rounders that he put that had successful careers. So looking at that list, you can't necessarily complain with how things are going right now. Who knows why he hasn't got picked up yet, but I know once he gets picked up, it's going to be pretty much, you know, all reels rolling, I would hope, because I mean it's the NFL. It is a business at the end of the day. But number 2, I feel like no matter where you get picked at in the NFL, you still can make an amazing career out of it, because the number 1 person that comes to mind that I did not want to mention until now is Tom Brady, because that's an unfair statement to make, because look at it, 199 to GOAT status, to GOAT of the NFL, GOAT quarterback, however you want to put it. There's nothing else. Like, Tom Brady has talked to Shedeur Sanders before, and I'm pretty sure with Dion, there's a lot of people that's going to be in his ear. And then, of course, there's so many people that are going to be viewing and watching how his career is going to be, because he's already took the hate from Colorado, and probably from Jackson State too. That was a move he took some hate for, not going a top D1 school, going to a HB. So he's going to be dealing with it no matter what, whether he got drafted first, whether he drafted the last pick. He's still going to be dealing with it. What do I feel? My opinion is that I feel like a team should have, teams that need a quarterback should be picking him up. So that's all I have. What do you guys think? Do you think it's right that he fell this far, or do you think he should have got picked up earlier? Let me know down in the comments down below. That's all I got. Peace.